Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're tackling a topic that strikes fear into the hearts of even the most organized people: stopping a payment. If you're watching this right now in a total banking panic, I want you to take a deep breath. You are in exactly the right place, and we're going to get through this together in a structured, step-by-step way.
So, here's the big question. Ever mistakenly sent out a check and wished you could hit undo? Well, with Wells Fargo, you actually can. Stay with us to master this absolutely essential banking skill. Whether you wrote the wrong amount, lost a check in the mail, or realized you're dealing with a shady payee, it's completely normal to feel a sudden wave of anxiety. But the really great news here is that the banking system has built-in safety nets for this exact scenario.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our roadmap for today. Number 1, hitting the undo button. 2, step-by-step stop methods. 3, rules, fees, and timelines. 4, handling cashier's checks. And finally, avoiding future mishaps.
Section 1. Hitting the undo button. Why and when to stop a payment.
Look, mistakes happen to all of us. Maybe your rent check got lost in the mail, or oops, you accidentally added an extra zero. Stopping a payment is your defensive tool, but you absolutely need the right keys to use it. Think of this as your crucial pre-flight checklist. Wells Fargo's computers process literally millions of transactions, right? And they use automated filters to catch your specific check before it clears. So you're going to need your bank account number, the specific check number, or a consecutive range if, say, a whole book was stolen, the exact down-to-the-penny amount, the date you wrote it, and the name of the payee. If any of this data is off, the system might just miss it entirely, and the payment could slip right through.
Section 2. Step-by-step stop methods. 4 distinct ways to cancel your check. Obviously, speed is of the essence here, so we're going to look at the digital self-service options first. Method 1 is online banking, and it is incredibly straightforward. First, just log into your Wells Fargo account online. Second, navigate over to the Accounts tab. Third, select Manage Accounts, and right there you'll find the option to stop a check, or stop future payment if you're dealing with an electronic ACH draft. Finally, just punch in those exact details from your pre-flight checklist, confirm the fee disclosure, and submit your request. Boom, you have officially put up the roadblock. And this brilliantly illustrates how seamless modern banking can be, because the mobile app mirrors that desktop experience perfectly. If you're on the go, simply open up the Wells Fargo mobile app, head to the Accounts tab, tap Manage Accounts, and select Stop a Check. It's the exact same flow. Having this power literally right in your pocket means you can freeze a payment from the parking lot of the post office if you realize you just mailed a massive mistake.
Now, if you're someone who prefers speaking to a real human being, or maybe you're dealing with a really complex situation, you can absolutely use phone assistance. You'll want to call 1-800-2-WELLS, that's 1-800-869-3557. This hotline is open 24/7. Just a quick pro tip though, customer service wait times can vary a lot, so having that checklist of information ready to just read off to the rep will make this call highly efficient and get your stop order placed way faster.
Finally, there's the old-school, in-person bank visit. Bringing your ID and check details directly to a teller at any Wells Fargo branch is totally foolproof. And honestly, sometimes it's necessary. For instance, if you're trying to stop a recurring debit card transaction, the online system actually won't let you do it yourself. You have to call in or visit a branch to get that sorted out.
Section 3, rules, fees, and timelines. Let's dive into the fine print of stopping a payment.
Hitting that undo button does take some administrative effort behind the scenes, so we need to talk costs. Now, what's really interesting here is how your fee depends entirely on your specific relationship with the bank. For standard consumer accounts like everyday checking or clear access banking, you're looking at a flat $30 fee per item. If you have an entry-level Initiate Business checking account, it's $31. However, if you maintain higher balances in premium tiers like Prime Checking, Premier Checking, or Navigate Business Checking, Wells Fargo completely waives these fees. It's a pretty fantastic perk if you qualify for those tiers.
We also really need to talk about timelines, because a stop payment isn't always a permanent fix. If you stop a physical paper check, that order is valid for exactly 6 months. After 6 months, the order literally expires and drops completely out of the system. This means if someone tries to cash that stale check on, say, month 7, the bank might actually pay it. No way, right? But it happens. You have to manually contact the bank to renew the stop order if that check is still floating around out there. On the flip side, stop payments on pre-authorized electronic ACH drafts are valid indefinitely. They never expire.
But guys, here's the absolute most urgent warning of this entire explainer. A stop payment is literally a race against time. It only works if the bank
actually has a reasonable opportunity to act on it before the item is presented. If the check has already been cashed at a teller window, or if that ACH draft has already cleared your account, it is too late. The stop payment order simply cannot be honored. This is exactly why you must act immediately the very moment you realize a mistake was made.
Section 4. Handling cashier's checks. The special rules for guaranteed funds.
Okay, so because the bank actually guarantees the funds on a cashier's check, they treat it almost exactly like physical cash. Because of that, you can't just stop one because you, say, changed your mind about a purchase, or you're having a dispute with a seller. The check must be officially lost, stolen, or destroyed. And to initiate this, you can't do it online. You have to make a mandatory in-person visit to a branch. Crucially, you'll have to sign what's called an indemnity agreement, which legally protects the bank if that original check somehow surfaces and gets cashed by a legitimate third party.
And honestly, you just have to be patient here. For cashier's checks over $1,000, there is a mandatory legal waiting period before Wells Fargo will reissue your funds. The standard wait period across most of the country is 90 days from the day you report it. Now, because of some very specific state laws, it's 30 days if you're in Wisconsin and 91 days in New York. The only real way to bypass this waiting period is by purchasing an acceptable surety bond from an insurance carrier, which basically acts as collateral for the bank.
Section 5. Avoiding future mishaps. Let's look at some best practices for your peace of mind.
So the crucial point is, placing a stop payment is super stressful, and paying those fees is definitely not fun. Taking a proactive approach is absolutely key. Always double-check your amounts and the payee name before sealing that envelope. Keep meticulous records of your check numbers in a checkbook register. If you lose a check, you really need to know exactly which number it was. And here's a massive tip regarding electronic ACH drafts. Placing a stop payment at the bank actually does not legally release you from your contract with the merchant. You still owe them that money. Always contact the merchant directly in writing to revoke their authorization to charge your account.
Before we wrap up today, please keep in mind, this explainer provides general information for educational purposes. For personal situations or more specific inquiries, always contact Wells Fargo directly or consult a financial advisor. Banking rules can be highly specific to your exact account type, state laws, and personal circumstances.
I want to leave you with this somewhat provocative thought. As we move closer and closer to real-time, instant digital payment networks, the window to catch a mistake is basically shrinking to zero. If digital banking makes sending money instant, will we eventually lose the ability to hit undo altogether? It really highlights why being careful up front is more important now than ever. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you found this structured breakdown helpful, please like, comment, and subscribe for more informative explainers on banking and finance topics. Keep learning, stay organized, and I'll see you in the next one.